Hey, beautiful people. I've been getting a lot of calls about student loans. People trying to remove their student loans from their credit report. So I wanted to come here with like a warning about student loans. And the warning is for people that's really trying to delete them, and also how to handle your student loans, how to deal with them. Okay. Now, right now they have this fresh start. I believe it's still available. Definitely just call your student loan servicer and ask, hey, do you guys have this fresh start thing? And that's something where, we have to do the rehabilitation in the past, where if you, your student loan went into default or collection, they can actually help you get it out of default as long as you made 9 payments on it. All of this good stuff. You have to make payments on it basically. With this new Fresh Start program, you don't have to do all that. They're going to bring them out of default right away. So definitely call and ask about that for the people that have problems with their student loans. Call and see if that's something that you can actually do, because that can help you guys out a lot. Now, I read a comment, but I actually talked to this person too. I read a comment about somebody's credit score going down 60 points. Okay, so let me put it up here so you guys can actually read it. So they said they had their student loans forgiven in December 2019, but basically the student loans were taken off of their credit reports and their credit score dropped 60 points. Okay, now you have to understand that student loans, a lot of times for people, even for myself, my student loans is my oldest account. At the time, I wasn't thinking about getting like credit cards or like anything like that. I got student loans fresh out of high school. So since your student loan is your highest account, it's helping you with your age, your average age of accounts. If you guys were to go to Credit Karma, they'll let you know what your average age of your accounts is. And that's very, very important. So it's helping you with your age. Not only are your student loans helping you with your age, it's also helping you with having on-time payment history. So if you don't have anything negative wrong with them, you always was on time with them, you always was in like deferment, or you just been paying on them every month, that's helping you. It's on-time payment history. It shows that you're able to pay. Think of your student loans as, because you don't get they report, it be multiple ones. It don't just be that one a lot of times. Think of those student loans reporting as like a car on your credit report, because your car is an installment account, and also student loans is an installment account. So think of that as an installment account, as a car. Okay, don't think of it as like it's just old account student loans. I don't care about student loans. It helps you build your credit. So what I'm trying to get at is, please, please, please stop thinking that you need to remove these accounts. I see people go to my website, because I have like student loan removal letters. I see people get those letters. They actually remove their student loans from their credit reports, and now they're like, my credit score went down. I shouldn't have done this. No, you should not have done it. You should not have done it. The only way I tell people, or the only time I think about even suggesting that somebody remove their student loans, is if they just like completely in default. It's nothing you can do about them. Like, they're in default, they're hurting your credit. If they are not in default, and don't forget we talked about the Fresh Start program. If they're not in default and you're trying to buy a house pretty soon, or you got other stuff you're trying to do, you're trying to get credit cards, you're not really fixing this, then leave them alone. Leave them alone. They're like your oldest account. You got payment history on them. You are going to be good to have them there. Another time where I see people try to remove their student loans is if they're trying to buy a house. So when you guys are trying to buy a house, your student loans should have a monthly payment on them. And since you guys have multiple student loans, well, since most of us, let me say that, since most of us have multiple student loans, not just one student loan, each one of them is considered a payment. So when you're trying to buy a house, they look at the number of payments that you have, what the amount of your payments, and include that into your debt to income ratio. So a lot of times, if you have a lot of loans with higher amounts as your monthly payment, you're unable to actually get the house that you want, because they say you technically can't afford it because of your student loans. And worse than that is if you don't have a payment reporting at all. So they don't have a dollar amount there. They're just going to assume 1% or 1.5%. Double check with a mortgage company what percentage they're going to use. They're going to consider part of that. Let's go with 1%. They're going to consider 1% of your student loans as like your monthly payments. So that means that, say if you got $60,000, that means that they're going to include $600 a month as something you're having to pay for your student loans. If I hope I'm correct, I'm adding that up correctly, but I've been making these videos because I want to make sure I can like relax this weekend and do my homework, but I still want to make this video for you, but hopefully that is the number. So I suggest, instead of, you guys, I know like some people try to delete it just because it is too, please try to keep your student loans. I had helped a lady buy a house because she had this same problem. So what I told her to do was, I told her to call your student loan servicer and ask them, is it a way they can give you the lowest payment possible? Not just $0, but the lowest payment possible. And at the time for her, they was able to give her $5 a month on each of her loans. So say she had 8 loans, 5 times 8, that's $40 a month. That's better than if they were to consider that she had to pay $500 a month or $400 a month. We're talking about $40 per month. So you can do the same thing too, instead of just trying to delete your student loans. Now, some people like, I don't care about that, Rickita, I gotta delete them. Do what you gotta do, but this is like my warning to you all, because student loans, in terms of their reporting, they helped you so much, and it helped. I was talking to a client yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I was telling him, you don't have age on your accounts. Your average age of accounts is like a year or so. It wasn't that long. And he was like, well, why is it not that long when I actually got a few older accounts? It's a few years old. But I said, hey, you got a few older accounts, but you got a lot of new accounts. So when you average that out, you really don't have any age. But you got to think about it. I got student loans that's like 14, 15 years old, I think. That's on my credit reports. Those are old accounts, not 4 years, 3 years. I'm talking about super old accounts, not some of these newer accounts. Some people like, oh, I had this credit card for 4 years. I thought it would have helped me. No. Yeah, well, my student loans, yeah, they 13 years old. I'm looking on Credit Karma right now. They're 13 years old. So when you are to factor in how old your accounts are, when you average them all out, like I see all my student loans, when you log into your Credit Karma, and then look on where it says credit age. When you click on that, my student loans is right at the top because those are my oldest accounts. Okay? Those are the oldest. And then when you go down, you'll start seeing, okay, when did you start getting these other accounts? You can see exactly how long you had each account. It will tell you. Okay, and these are only for open accounts too. Keep that in mind. These are only for open accounts. These are not for like your closed accounts. We're talking your open accounts. You can look at closed, but it's for open accounts. So if you can, you guys, keep your student loans. I'm telling you, just keep your student loans if you can help it, and then call about the fresh start. And ask them as many questions as you need to ask. And if you're trying to delete your student loans just because your debt to income ratio, please try to call your student loan servicer and ask, is there a way they can give you the lowest payment possible? Not $0. I don't care if it's $1. Give me some type of payment reporting that's very, very low. Okay, call them and do that, and let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.